Well, yeah. I was talking to my cousin like one time, and it's the cousin that we did the Krav Maga with, and he's a pastor. So he,
is he?
Yeah,
What kind of pasta?
So he was just, like fettuccine type of thing. But he was telling me, he was like, yo, I heard you guys are low on Liktas points. So he's like, don't worry, bro. I am stacked up on them. I'll throw some your way.
He's gonna give us some Liktas points. You know what Liktas points are?
No, you got me stumped with that.
Basically, just like the points that you get to go to use to get to heaven.
To get saved.
It's like brownie points to get
Yeah, brownie points for the heavens type of thing. So because like we did a snippet, the Transformer snippet, where the Transformer turns into the Mother Mary, and then all the comments. If this is comments from straight from the Philippines,
here you go.
They're full like saying, "Oh, we're losing Liktas points for laughing about it," and Liktas points because I'm laughing at the joke and all that stuff.
We didn't even know what it was until then.
You didn't even know. You guys didn't even know what those points were.
I knew we were going to hell, but I didn't know there was a point system.
I kind of gave up on that.
But then my cousin's like, "Don't worry, I got you. I got all the Liktas points you need."
Did he really?
Yeah. And I was like, "Bro, you know what? This Liktas point thing, it's not what you do, it's who you know."
I know, unbelievable.
So I was like, thanks for the hookup, bro. Like whenever I need some Liktas points, I'll come to you. And he's like, "Don't worry, man, I'll pray for you and you'll be sweet." And I could just imagine me being in heaven. It's like, what the fuck? Why is he here? I was like, don't worry, bro. I feel like you know my cousin.
I know somebody that knows somebody.
It's like trying to get into a club.
It's the what's it called? Like it's I just picture now like your cousin praying for you is like, hey God, he's not so bad. Just he's good. Just let him in.
He's trying.
He's trying.
He's with me. He's cool. Don't
worry, it's all for the camera and stuff.
Isn't one of your cousins like a priest now?
Yeah.
So you can
He's definitely got the red carpet treatment, like the velvet rope. Or it's like, open up that velvet rope. Yeah, you guys can come in. It's all good. Close that up.
You get stopped and it's like, hey, my cousin's your workmate.
Come on, bro.
He works for you guys.
Oh man, it's like your name was not on the list. I'm here with my cousin.
My cousin's hooking me up.
Come on, I put the velvet rope over there.
Get the stamp and everything, bro.
Just us joking about this.
We're getting
Don't worry,
bro. Don't worry. We got the hookups, bro.
That's the reason why we're not getting
Yeah. I'm gonna call you tonight, cuz. I'll let you know,
don't worry. You with us, man. You with us now. We'll get you in.
I didn't even know about these points. Now you got me worried. About these points.
Why do you need to worry about the merit points when you have Liktas points to worry about, bro?
Yeah. Far out. Double the merits.
I wonder what's the point system like. Is there like if you do particular things, do you lose more points than the other type of thing?
This is the whole premise of that TV show. It's called The Good Place.
Oh,
I think I've seen that. I've seen that.
And it's like you do good things and then you get points to get into heaven, and you do bad things and you lose those points.
Okay.
There's a whole show about it.
Okay.
Man.
But yeah.
I don't think a whole church will save you, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Points.
So like if someone starts their own church, saves a whole bunch of people, they've got like 1 million Liktas points. But then if they embezzle all of the money from the people, maybe it's less 1 million less Liktas points.
Are you talking about Liktas points laundering?
Laundering Liktas points.
Imagine these coins as well, like the value goes down like the LC dollar.
It's like Bitcoin. They like open up
my own church.
Like
my own coin.
Trading it.
They like wake up in the morning, they have their console login shit, and then drinking their coffee, they open up the paper. Let's check these shares for these Liktas points.
See where they're trading at.
See where they're trading.
I think the Filipino Liktas points are stronger than the rest of the world. Like this.
Yeah, they're trading it more than we are.
The Aussie dollar is strong, but the Filipino Liktas is much higher.
It's -1.
Wow.
Bro.
That was -1 was the karaoke before Magic Mike, right?
-1 was what they called the instrumental. So minuses, because the way that they used to do music was different channels. So one channel of the stereo channel would be the voice, and then the second one would be the music. So when they say -1, it removes that one channel.
Yo, bro, did you hear that?
Yeah.
It sounded like the fun just got sucked out of the room.
It was minus fun. That was just fact, Don.
Fuck you guys.
You minus the fun out of the fun facts.
You know when you're recording a song and you take off the track?
Yeah.
It's -1. That's the instrumental part of it. All right, let's start the show. Welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast. My name is Raph. This is episode number 225. And I am here with my usual suspects of Mr. Don doing stuff. He knew what I was wearing and he'd be like, you know what, I'm going to copy what he's wearing. So, you know, originally Raph was going to wear the shirt, but then I'll just copy him type of thing. Mr. Don doing stuff.
What's Don? Wanting up Raph all the time.
You've been holding on to that shit.
Yeah, no, he's like, this fucker wore the same shirt as me.
I'm the worst with grudges, bro.
Petty.
And also to my right, hey. Mr. I've been to the Chappelle show, so I gotta wear a jumper to prove it.
I gotta buy a jumper that costs just as much as the ticket to prove
That's true.
I got the ticket.
And I couldn't do it at the time because my phone was locked.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Garcia.
Yeah, I couldn't take photos, My phone was locked up.
And this is a special episode because we have a special guest.
Damn, special.
Be sure.
Special.
He's the product of how trauma could turn you into something greater. The product of being being traumatic in the Filipino family, but turning into a fighter. You know what I think Filipino fighters are? They're the Filipino Spartacus, bro.
They're the Filipino Spartacus.
Yeah, man. I learned that from Manny Pacquiao because like every time Manny Pacquiao comes out, everyone claims to be Filipino. You know, in Spartacus, they're like, I am Spartacus. Yeah. Everyone's like, I am Filipino. And then ever since you came into the UFC and then you were killing it, everyone's like,
I am Filipino.
I am Filipino. This guy makes me more proud to be Filipino.
Let me put that extra sticker on my car.
Yes. We have
I'm up to 4 sons now.
fighter Josh Culibao.
Culibao!
Bro.
What an entrance. What an entrance.
Bro, no, like Michael Buffer or whoever's the one who
Buffer.
Bruce Buffer. Any of them? Any of the Buffers? Nothing on the Cheatcoders podcast. I feel stumbling my lines and shit. No,
Michael
the one you fight in traumatic. Yep.
So Michael Buffers, the Bruce Buffer,
all of the bumpers.
The Buppers. The teeny Buppers. All right.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show,
Thank
bro.
you guys for having me, bro. Appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, man.
And
congratulations, what you've been doing.
Bro, I've been trying not to get fat in between fights. That's probably the biggest struggle day to day for Filipinos to avoid being fat. You know,
Is there any Filipino food you can eat between fights?
that I can eat?
That you can eat? Is there such thing? Because I feel like Filipino food is the most, not the fattiest, but the most unhealthiest type of thing. And as a fighter, you experience not eating like those type of foods. But
probably the thing that I do get away with the most is probably like eggs, toyo rice, spam.
The breakfast.
Spam silog.
Or langonisa. Like I get away with that, doing that breakfast stuff. But like
because it's a breakfast thing.
It's a breakfast thing. So like I can get away with that.
I do it so wrong. I have that for dinner. It's still good.
I do it anytime.
I do it anytime too. Bro. Don't worry, bro.
I was like, what do you want for dinner? Corn syrup?
Bro, I had corned beef and rice just before we got here.
Bro, don't even tell me about corned beef. I haven't had that in forever, bro.
This isn't breakfast.
What's your favorite out of all the silogs? Which one is the one to go? What's your go-to?
Tapsilog.
Tapsilog. Which is just the tapas.
Yeah.
It's beef.
That's the go.
Yeah.
That's the go-to.
That's your go-to.
And always have toyo with that. You gotta have toyo.
You like the salty kind of.
Yeah.
You don't have a sweet tooth or anything.
Nah, bro. I'm not a sweet guy. I love the fatty stuff, man.
Yeah,
I love the
So that
fatty
means you
stuff.
hate the Philip spaghetti.
Oh no, look, I don't mind it, but it's I still prefer it over the Italian way spaghetti. I like the sweet with the cabanossi.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking that shit, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Italians have. When
Oh shit! Here we go.
When it comes to spaghetti, has nothing
Oh, don't.
Oh shit!
Bro,
I'm out of this. I'm not involved in myself.
Fucking mafia is gonna put out a hit on us,
I'm
man.
not involved in this. Guys, whoever's watching, I'm not involved.
Bro,
in this.
you're supposed to back me up, bro. I was like, I have a UFC fighter on my corner.
Yeah.
And they said that he's backing out. I'm all by myself. Oh shit.
What's that old phrase? If you talk shit, you
It's on you, bro.
It's on me, bro.
talk
It's
shit,
on
get
me,
hit.
don't worry, bro. It's all good. I have nothing for the mafia. It's all good. It's all good, bro. But yeah, man, like, let's start from the beginning, I guess. Like, we'll just get like a little backstory of you, who you are as a person, in case of people don't know out there about like who you are. Like, what made you want to be a fighter?
Man, like I grew up in a household. You know, my dad loved any type of combat sports, violence. You know, he loved Manny Pacquiao. He loved anything to do with. He loved Bruce Lee films. So we always had that stuff going on. You know, in the background, either boxing, Bruce Lee films, or sabong was always the same.
yeah.
So
What's
like
sabong?
The chickens,
the cockfighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like my dad had always something violent on the TV, and so like it was just a part of the
I
household.
didn't know they televised cockfighting.
No,
It's on YouTube,
he
bro.
went back to Phil's and bought like a whole bunch of DVDs and brought
shit,
it back,
this-
and like it's all pre-recorded
Whoa,
stuff, and
man.
he'd watch it as if it's like you'd be
Live.
watching
Wow.
live
So
UFC and
you-
be trying to bet on it.
Whereabouts in Philippines did you guys did you come from an area where that was like massive? the sabong scene.
Pampanga.
Ah, okay.
Man, that's crazy. That's UFC Ultimate Fighting Chicken.
That's the real life Pokemon.
Ultimate fighting chicken, bro. It's the cousin of KFC, bro. From KFC to UFC. That's the chicken's journey. Or probably the reverse way around.
reverse, bro.
Yeah. UFC to KFC.
Like my dad was always into it, so it was always a part of the household, and he just wanted us to get into martial arts, and
Also, he got you into it.
yeah, well, he got my eldest Kuya Justin. He got him into Taekwondo, and then my Kuya just forced me and my other brother Joseph to get into it, and we just kept training Taekwondo, and then just found kickboxing, and then found jiu-jitsu, and it just like spiraled, and we were doing it just because I was getting real big. So like it was, as much as it was like to lose weight and gain self-confidence, it was just because I was getting really big. Like I'm talking like at the age of 15, I was pushing like nearly like 95, 100 kilos like on the verge.
Okay, so my intro was true. You're a product of trauma.
Trauma.
And then you just turned into this.
Is it you and your two brothers? So how many like siblings do you
So
have?
I've got 3 older brothers, 2 that are actually blood brothers, and 1 that's a half brother. So.
Yeah, and all of you guys do combat sports.
The eldest one doesn't, but all my 2 actual blood brothers, they're the ones that actually do.
Crazy.
do martial arts.
I can just imagine like what like an argument in the house would be like. Because like for me,
Not anymore. They don't mess with me anymore.
shook his
but
head a little
they
bit
don't mess
like
with. But
that.
before, when I was growing up, this is also part of the trauma. It's probably the reason why I got so good at fighting, because you know how it is. The Kuyas go down like hierarchy. So like the Kuya will beat up that Kuya, and that Kuya will beat up that Kuya, and then and it all goes down to the Bunso. And the Bunso.
Are you the Bunso?
I'm the Bunso. So
Hey.
it all trickled down. So like all the trauma that they had on each other, it was like times by 3 all on me.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why I got such tough skin now and such a hard head. So
because me and my brothers, like my brother Ken and I used to fight, and I just thinking like if we both were like actual like fighters when we were younger, like fuck.
You're just a bully, bro, now. Because like he does Krav, right?
Yeah.
You did it because you had older siblings bullying you.
Yeah.
He's the oldest one. He had to, you know what? I need to add some sauce to this bullying.
I actually want to learn the proper technique to hurt my younger brother.
You did it out of survival. He did it to make other people survive.
I'm just helping him out. I'm trying to make him stronger.
And Ken is the toughest there is now because of it.
Yeah, you're speaking like a true Kuya, bro.
Can he fight? Nah, but he's tough. He's tough.
Bro, you can take a punch.
He can take a punch. I don't know how you can see that as a compliment, like taking a punch. I mean, like
good,
people like, oh, he could take a punch. Of like, would you rather be the one punching?
100%. 100%.
Don't get it, but yeah, man. Like, so How long have you been doing this? The whole fighting thing.
So I've been doing martial arts since I was 12, and I'm 28, turning 29 this year. So more than half my life, nearly 50. Fuck, I can't even do math. Nearly 16 years. 16 years now. So yeah,
that's it. That's
at what point did it start picking up? Though, like, oh shit, I can actually make a living.
Oh man, I was just competing. I loved competition. I was 15. Like I said, I started taking it a bit serious when I was like 14, 15. Lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I started like doing really well in the gym against adults, and that was just a massive boost in my confidence. Just doing well in the gym with adults, and then I decided to do some competition after competition. I kept winning, right. And again, confidence just kept getting better and better. And I was just like, you know what? I enjoy competing. It makes me feel alive, and I felt like it was my thing. You know what I mean? Like all my mates, they had football, they had basketball, they all had, and that was their identity. Where mine, I didn't have an identity. So it was like as much as it was about like feeling myself, it was also like I found something that I can resonate with, and you know, that's a me.
To be real, as a fighter, like, I mean, like you being a fighter, I think that trumps anything, bro. As a football player, but you being a fighter, I don't know, for some reason, it's the coolest thing out of them all.
You can kick a ball nice.
Nah, I can kick a head nice.
I don't know, bro, but like singers or like that, I don't know. Filipinos, there's one or two. Like you're either really good singer as a Filipino or you're a really good dancer, and I was neither. So I had to find something else.
But like a lot of, especially during like the teen years, we're kind of doing that to get girls or whatever. But like we go, oh man, I can fight. Like, do you want to go out with me? I'll punch him out for you, babe. Shit, I would have. Man,
I could just imagine like watching you from a distance trying to impress a chick. You're like doing some roundhouses.
Just shadow boxing in the middle of the road in front of the girls. Like, look at this.
Watch me punch this tree in front of your house. I'm like, fucking my dad was taking care of that tree. Oh man.
Did you ever use that as an angle? Like when you're like when you were like trying to mac on girls and stuff like that?
No, never, man. I just never. I didn't.
Not even a scar. You'd be like, I got this scar back in 1982.
How would you figure that?
This fighter tried to stab me. Like make up some bullshit story.
Bro, never. To be honest, I never used it. I never used that card to back on the chicks. It was just a thing that I did, and it was enjoyable.
Did you find, because I started doing boxing one to lose weight, and also for me to gain my confidence as well, and because I wasn't as secure in myself as well. But did you find that you walk different, or like you reacted to things differently after you started like doing martial arts?
Yeah, man. Like yeah, man, for sure. Like I've realized, like I just now understand how much damage you can do to someone, but also how fragile you are. So like you never really want to put yourself in a situation that is gonna how do I put it? It's gonna put you in like jeopardy, or like you in harm's way, sort of thing, because you understand how fragile you are and how much damage can actually happen. And you just don't put yourself in that scenario.
I've always heard that people who know how to fight do their best never to be in a fight.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, you're looking at a guy that's never had a street fight before. So
wow,
bro, I could imagine I could really relate to you in that, because as a podcaster, that's how I gain my confidence from. And then I realized that it's better to keep all my talking within the podcast. So when you see me down the street, I'll be like, nah, bro, we're not talking. That's how introverted I am, bro. Like in the podcast, it's all here. It's in a safe space. But when it's out there, bro, it's just like I always keep to myself.
Yeah, introvert. You're an introvert all of a sudden.
Yeah. I was like, I'll just keep to myself type of thing. When people like, oh, I know you from the podcast type of thing, I'll be like, oh shit, yeah.
Someone goes up to him in the street like, oh yeah, you want to talk? I'll be like, he's like, nah, bro. I learned the effects of talking on the podcast, and I don't want to put it outside on the street.
And especially now that you just like kind of shit on all the Italians. Now some of them are gonna be on there, and they're gonna be like, hey, bro, I heard you talking bad about spaghetti, bro.
No, I'm not talking about your spaghetti. I'm saying
you just put a hit on him, bro.
Now I'm gonna have to carry a tub of Filipino spaghetti. Just just to show him like this is what I mean, bro.
It's just different.
It's just different, bro. It's hot dogs. Look at the hot dogs, bro.
It's sweet. See, it's sweet.
It's sweet,
It's not. It's not salty. It's
It's in
sweet.
the defense.
He's gonna need a security detail after this, man.
You know, like
he gets to Likart and he's just like looking
Yeah, no,
around
he's
like.
fucked.
Don't you know the difference between a mafia and a Filipino mafia? The Filipino mafia is just sweet, bro. It's a little
The
sweet.
spaghetti's different. That's the only difference.
Some of it's just different. It's not
different.
better,
They
bro.
sound the same.
Sweet, bro. Would you add a little sugar? It's nice.
Yeah, like Philo Mafia's going, get the fuck out of here. Just eating Philo spaghetti.
Oh, bro. I forget what we were talking about just now.
Yeah.
I did have a question. As you mentioned, you'd never been in a street fight.
Yeah.
So this is purely like a sport, right? So it's never, like, I don't know, when you mentioned that you kind of grew up, your parents like in the I don't know, Bruce Lee movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But you never really like violent, never got fights in school or anything?
Nah. So my older brother Joseph, he's only like a year.
forget that you're the Bunso.
a year or two older.
Yeah.
Any problems that I had, they all had to face him.
Right.
It wasn't me. I died. And plus, again, like I was chubby in high school, so like if I did get picked on, my Kuya Joseph was the one.
Right.
And he was known. He's a lot smaller than me, but he was known to be like that hot-headed.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
nobody messes with him. You know, so he was the one that was always backing me up. So I didn't have to do anything.
Oh, man.
Does he like Philo spaghetti as well? I probably need him in my corner.
Need him in your security team now.
He's good books.
Bro, I'm scared for my life now, bro.
He's like, fuck the Bunso. Let me go for the straight Kuya, bro. I love that you're like you have Josh Kuya Culibao
Yeah.
in your name, and you've got Kuya on there. Do you have like do people in the UFC or in your fighting in your gym and that stuff, do they call you Kuya?
They do.
That aren't Filipino?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
That's how it started. Like they were just asking me random like words and stuff, and yeah, I just told them what Kuya meant, and then they just started calling me that, and it just kind of stuck. And again, I'm fighting in the UFC now, and I wanted something that related to my Filipino heritage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's like, oh yeah, that's him. It's like, I don't know, it ties two to two. It's something that I'm proud of. I'm proud to be in the UFC fighting, on the international stage, and then I'm also proud to be Filipino. So it was like I just wanted to rep.
I love your mentality, bro, because as a Bunso, you'd never get called Kuya.
No.
That's
what I mean.
Now you got the whole world calling you
It's
Kuya.
so ironic now. It's so ironic. Everything's switched since I'm the Bunso. So yeah.
Yeah, I love it, bro. That's just the way it
It's all
is.
trauma related.
No one ever called me Kuya.
Because he's he's copying that from like everyone else, like all the Kuyas on top, right? He's like, fucking, I never became a Kuya. I got no one to beat up.
I got no. Exactly. So everyone's gonna call me good.
Yeah.
Now everyone's gonna call me Kuya.
Make the world call me Kuya.
Man, that sounded like some serious trauma.
It sounded like some Goku shit.
That's like a villain shit, bro. You ever seen like every single villain movie?
Oh my gosh, man.
You will call me Kuya. Everyone will call me Kuya.
Bro, speaking of villains, man, like this last fight from last month, it's kind of like dramatic in a way, right? I don't know if you realize people are making videos and stuff. It's like the karma videos where, what's his name? Melsick?
Yeah, Melsick,
showed you,
yeah,
and then you ended up typing them out.
Yeah.
So people are doing a video of the what do you call it? Like the weigh-in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That happening, and it's like a few minutes later, and then you typing him out, and it's like, oh, that feels so good, man.
Yeah, man.
They made, the whole villain and hero kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's
man,
like,
he's putting some sauce into it. I was like, oh shit.
To add on top of it, it was in Australia too. So it happened in Perth, and the whole Australian crowd was behind me. He made himself look like a dickhead by doing all that stuff. You know what I mean?
gosh.
So
I reckon in his mind is like, oh, this guy's Australian. We're in Australia. I'm gonna go after the top dog here. And then he just like shoves you and stuff.
I got a quick question about what did his breath smell like? Because it looked like he was like.
I thought
You had longanisa, bro, didn't you?
Garlic rice.
He was the garlic bread. That's why he shoved you, bro. It was the longanisa bread, bro. Strikes again. Sorry. The Russians don't know that shit, bro.
He's had too much toyo this morning. Oh man.
Breathe to your face.
That stuff is always interesting to me because like the pre-fight stuff. they do it a lot in boxing, or it's like the showboating, or like they try to do that so that it builds more viewers or like a viewership to it. And I don't know if that, like, how much of that with Melsick was like just trying to drum up attention, or was it just like
that was just like, again, like that I feel with people kind of mistaken it for that. It's like kind of like the WWE hype it up sort of thing, but that was like just genuine. Like, I don't know how to say it. It's just genuine. He was just like, whatever he did, he meant it. Like, he meant that.
But do you guys get any pressure to, I don't know, have a villain and a hero for every fight, just to drum up again?
Nah, not me. Not me. Like, people can talk shit about me. I don't care too much. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, again, I'm gonna do my talking, and all my actions are gonna be in the cage. So I don't. You know, I don't talk too much.
That's why I realized I was watching your interviews, right? Like beforehand, because usually because. I don't know if it's the bravado or that ego from other people, right? Going, I'm gonna fucking knock him out. But then when you were talking about, I think it was Troy, and you're going like, I expect that we're both gonna come out there fucking bloodied up and beat up. It's because he's it's like a more realistic view. So if people are trying to find drama in that, it's like, oh fuck, man, like who are we gonna make look bad? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. It is like how do I put it? I say what I truly feel. I feel like in this sport, a lot of them try and put a front on and it looks fake. And you can see it where I'm just trying to be genuinely me. You know what I mean? Like even from my nickname, that's genuinely me. You know, I'm not trying to put on no fake, like, oh, I'm a tough guy.
But are you Kuya?
Hey, you're cutting me deep.
That's a Kuya.
That's Kuya bullying right there.
That is, bro. But are you the Kuya then? All right, you got me there. I'm genuinely, I'm not.
You know what I love when you talk about it in your interviews and stuff like that. Like you've said before that you're a fan of like martial arts. You're a fan of the sport, and you talk about it. You break things down and stuff like that. I think that's really, really cool to the way that you kind of commentate on it. Like the way when someone's like, oh, how do you feel like this fight will go, this and this, you're like, oh yeah, the way that you talk about it, I think it's completely the other way of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna knock this guy out and we're gonna like this and that. I think it's really refreshing to hear you talk about fights the way you do, man.
It kind of reminds me of Manny Pacquiao type of thing.
Oh shit, you're gassing me hard now, bro. You're gassing me. It's a Manny Pacquiao.
Have you seen Manny Pacquiao, bro? Like he's just the happiest guy until he hits the ring.
He's really humble. Yeah.
He's just like, even walking to the ring, he's just happy to be there, you know? And like
you get that smile on his face, like, I'm getting paid millions now for this, right? That's why he's so happy, bro. He's like, I'm getting paid millions for
Walks
this.
into the ring, once he is in the ring, zones in. And I was just like, just keep all that aggression in the ring type of vibe, man. You don't need to create the drama and this is not professional wrestling. It's selling itself. Everyone's just watching it for what's happening in the ring, rather what's happening out of it, man.
You're really chill as well, bro. Like just in person, just being off screen, but also you seem really, really calm when you're in the cage. Is that something by choice, or is that just like what?
Again, bro, I just feel comfortable. Like I'm usually, to be honest, I'm pretty bad in front of cameras and stuff. But like I've just come to terms with it. It's just having a chat with you guys, and like that's why I feel so comfortable doing this stuff now. Like when I first started doing interviews and stuff, I was terrible. I was like staring at the camera, the bright lights, and I just didn't know what to say. But like now, I just feel like, again, I'm just like having a chat with you guys, and it's the same with fighting. Like I've done it enough times that it's like I understand the risks that involved with fighting. Like I know that I might get embarrassed and get knocked out there, or something bad might happen. I might break a leg. I might break, something bad. But I accept all of that, and I'm just comfortable in there because I've come to terms like if it happens, it happens. But again, like fighting just makes me feel so alive. And again, it's like I said to you guys, is that it's like what I identify with. Like that's who I am as well. So
that's mad.
When I want to go back to when you were talking about how you were a big kid, like you're a big kid around 16, 15, and you found the sport.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of reminds me of a way that you unlocked that character in you, the competitive side. Yeah. Because once you saw the results happening, I think you just kept going at it, type of thing. Did you feel as though like it was kind of like a video game. Every single time you achieved something.
It was weird because I felt like, not to sound arrogant now, but like I just felt there was just something in me that I knew I was destined to do something, something special, and that I was just, whoever I was versing against, I just knew I had something on my side that I was just better than him. And that was just like, I don't know how to explain it. That's just how I felt. Like I genuinely feel like whoever I was competing against, whatever they were doing, whatever training they were doing, how long they were training, who they trained with, didn't matter. I just genuinely felt like there was something in me that in my life I knew I was destined to do something special, something great, and that this guy is just another step on the ladder sort of thing. So
because like I grew up on just like the hip hop mentality type of thing. Like you got to think you're better than everyone else type of thing.
I don't. Yeah, but you don't want to like. I'm not trying to say this in that arrogant way, but it's like like that's how I truly felt. Like I just felt deep down inside that I was destined for something more, and this dude is not going to stop that. That makes sense.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound arrogant, man. That's like
self-awareness.
Yeah, self-awareness, and it's also like positive self-talk in that way, right? Because if you go into the ring, you'd be like, I'm not gonna like, I guess I'll do all right. Then you're gonna do all right.
You kind of lose the battle before you even start the fight. Kind of second guess yourself.
Yeah, it's the difference between confidence and cocky, right? Like there's that little line that has a little difference between you being confident and you being cocky, but like. Either way, you need that confidence, and people will be like, at the end of the day, who cares what other people think?
Yeah, at the end of the day,
like who cares if they think that you're cocky or something? You prove that same thing over and over again inside the cage. You do your thing. Yeah. So man, I just want to commend you, bro. Like, you turning because like there's a lot of people that would find like being big as a negative thing or negative, and like it's like they would not push themselves to the way that you did, and then find your passion while doing it, and then like you finding yourself doing it. It's kind of like with me finding myself in the podcast. Like the more you just push at something that you're passionate about, the more you find layers of yourself, type of thing. And the way that you found it is through the sport.
The sport of just competition.
It's like turning a negative to a positive thing. I love that shit, bro. I commend you for that, bro.
I got a question. It's kind of, I don't know, since we're kind of getting into the serious territory, like with the whole confidence of being a fighter in the UFC, where there's not a lot of Filipinos there, right? Or not a lot of brown skinned Asians in there. I think there's that mentality of, because you're saying that you're confident that whoever you're going to fight, man, there's something in you that you know that, again, he's just another step to, up the ladder kind of thing. Yeah. But for majority of Asians, especially in the, I guess, combat sports world, because again, there's really not a lot of us, and I think just naturally as well, just being real, like you see, like say in America, for example, you're gonna see like see a tatted up cholo, big black dude, and an Asian guy. Yeah, it's like you know what I mean? Straight up, you're like, oh man, maybe the Asian dude's not gonna make it, kind of thing, right? But you've got this mentality there. That shit doesn't fucking matter. No. And is that like going into the UFC? Like, was that something that you brought with you, or is it something that was there already?
I think it was just something that again, ever since a young age, bro, I just always knew that I wasn't put on this earth to be average and just be another number and do the same shit everyone else is doing. I knew that I had something, that I was destined for something special, and whether it's like getting on a platform like the UFC and just being able to, represent exactly. Like, it's just something that I can't really explain, because I just feel that certain way, and I don't know whether I picked it up from someone, or whether I was just born with it, or whether it was like I learned it through my family culture. Or
I think it's everything, man.
It's the Kuyas.
I think it's you. We're born with it. That's it, bro.
Yeah, we're tuning you. We're getting you.
That's tough love, bro.
Yeah, it is. Tough love. It is.
Made a diamond out of that.
Yeah, brother.
It's punching in the face. I love you, bro.
I love you so much. I love you so much.
so much, bro.
You're gonna make
understand why.
You make it. You understand when you're older. You'll get there. You'll get there.
Now you're like in UFC and stuff. I could imagine brothers be like, man, I told you so. Bro.
Yeah, they only say that now because they know what will happen now.
Do they take credit for that? Like,
Nah, they do. They're not even lying. They take credit for that.
Bro, I would do that too.
They do take credit. They're like, yeah, who's the one that was beating you up when you were younger? Yeah, that's right. That's me. That's him.
We were
But
training
to
you
be
for this
honest,
moment.
as a Filipino, I take credit for your wins too.
I do the same shit, bro.
He's Filipino, Australian, man.
Wow, you should see how many cousins I have now that I've never met before. All of a sudden, all my cousins start popping. I'm from the same hometown. We're cousins. But I'm pretty sure I've never met you my whole life, bro.
Bro, it's like in sports, that mentality of like attaching yourself to a sports person or a team. It's like if you have like an NBA team, you'd be like, every time they're playing, it's like, oh, we're playing this the team. We're gonna be in the playoffs type of thing.
You make you feel
I
like
can imagine all the
pushed us like we gotta beat him up. We gotta beat him.
When you become champion, bro, we become champion.
Yeah, we
all make it.
We all make it.
Yeah, bro, 100%. I love that. I love that mentality. If you think about Pacquiao done that from the beginning. Bro. Pacquiao has carried the whole nation, bro. He's literally like, the fighting pride of the Philippines.
That's it, bro.
You know what I mean? So,
Do you get that pressure as well?
Yeah, I loved it though. I love it. Like, I think I'm statistically the only pure-blooded Filipino in the.
Bro, I was
UFC.
fucking looking this up on Google today, right?
I'm pretty sure I am I'm the pure blood. There's other fellows in the UFC, but they're halves. They're half Phil Am or half
from
Phil
Hawaii or something, right?
Exactly. So it's like I'm the full Phil blood, bro. So
I feel like I'm listening to like Blade, like and vampires.
I'm full blooded.
You're the ones are mudbloods.
I'm the day walker, bro.
I can Wesley
The rice
Snipes.
walker.
The rice walker.
Holy shit.
That sounds like a Star Wars character.
But like after a fight, man, like because obviously it's like you get to eat normal again. Do you have stuff that you go get the fucking adobo ready? When I
bro.
win?
That's my go-to is that adobo, bro.
Yeah?
But I don't know if it's a different region. People make adobos differently. Like I remember my eldest brother, he cooked it with 7-Up or.
Oh, 7-Up. Okay.
And then my dad used to make it with just like straight vinegar. Like he did like a real vinegar. I don't know.
Like different regions have like different. I only recently learned about the pineapple one.
There's a pineapple
one, man. It's like pizza toppings now.
Have you tried the Australian adobo? It's got beetroot in it. I'm just kidding.
And Vegemite.
It's got kangaroo meat.
That's the black thing in there.
It's got beetroot. Fucking picking out Vegemite.
That would be crazy. Like what adobo kangaroo? Whoa,
It's got a kick.
it's got a kick.
Adobo-roo.
Adobo, bro. It has to be like the top. That's the top. And big ring, bro. I love big ring, bro.
That's crazy.
Big ring.
I bought. It's been a while, but I bought a box of the MIG ring thing. Like,
Is it still $8 for a box?
Nah, it hasn't been. It's inflation, bro. Ever since Osama. Because I remember that shit was back in the day. It was like $8 a box, man.
Are you blaming Osama?
Yeah, man. Ever since 9/11, MIG ring prices have shot up.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Bro.
So adobo's your go-to. Do you like any other like?
Man, all of it. Ganiling, sinigang, man. Lumpia.
You're gonna get good. You're gonna get Filipino food.
Yeah,
after
bro.
this.
I'm going straight. I'm going straight there,
I
bro.
can see it in your eyes. Like,
He's like,
sinigang.
He wasn't even saying food. He's just saying his order.
get it ready. Get it ready.
You got my mouth salivating, bro. Thinking about that stuff,
Bro. I don't know. Like, I think I mentioned this on a previous episode, but adobo now, as an adult, I full love it because as a kid, I feel like I was too accustomed to it. It was like every third day was adobo type of thing.
Yeah.
But ever since I left my parents' house, I feel like I was like, wait a minute, adobo is a top tier dish.
Yeah, bro, 100%.
Don't know
like,
what you got
100%.
till it's gone.
That's it, bro. I was too like spoiled with that shit, bro. I was like, man,
I gotta try the 7-Up one.
Yeah, it's not the best, bro. I like the vinegary stuff. That's the go-to.
Okay, it's
That's the go-to.
How like do you like it dry or do you like with the sabao?
With the sabah always,
Oh,
bro.
bro. Don't worry, bro.
Come on.
Don't worry. I like it grilled and
He's not gonna
dry.
argue. He usually argues with everybody about it. He's not gonna argue with you.
Not on the adobo, bro. Not my favorite, bro. Not my favorite ulam, bro. Don't mess with my ulam, bro.
What meat would you put in it?
Man, it
manok
doesn't. Pork probably. Pork would be the one.
With big fat, right?
Yeah, of course,
bro,
man.
yeah,
Always get the fatty bits, bro.
Your trainers give you shit like just going, fuck, he's eating a adobo again.
Bro, yeah, he does, man.
Yeah.
He gets real angry with me. So I fight 66 kilos, right? And I get like, if you're looking at me now, how much you guys reckon I weigh?
You're probably like 72.
I feel like this is a trick question.
72.
I don't know.
72 win.
I'm gonna say 50.
I get up to like the close 80s, bro. Like,
Oh, yeah?
I get
shit,
into there, I
really?
fight 66. So
It's got that strong bone
So
density.
you gotta lose all that weight
Yeah.
before fuck.
Yeah.
That's tough, bro.
it's fun.
That's tough, man.
There's gotta be like a calendar, right? Like before after a fight. It's like adobo season, right?
Yeah.
And then you stop for like
Adobo season. That's it, bro.
I would have adobo season, bro. Schedule that in. You got like a little bling on your phone.
100%, bro.
15 minutes till adobo season.
Yeah, bro. My ate Mel comes over, bro. She cooks the best adobo, bro. Always makes it for me after my fight. So
Hey.
shout out to Ate Mel.
Shut up.
Hey.
So like when you say like your dad's obviously, I don't know, like been into the martial arts thing and obviously like seeing Sibling and stuff, like I'm assuming like when you started fighting he'd be like going like fuck yeah, but what about how did your mum feel? Because mum's always gonna be mum.
My mum still has not been to any of my live
She don't wanna-
fights ever.
Yeah?
Like, and I've been fighting for again like 14 years now. She's never been to any of them, any competitions. Even the ones that she knows that I won, she won't watch again on TV.
Right.
Like, it's that bad.
Yeah.
What about your brothers though?
They love it, bro.
Yeah.
They love it. They
I know,
love
but
it.
they watch like. Did your mum watch your brothers' fights? No, I just can't.
Nah, just can't
It's
do
like,
it.
it's
They
like,
just, she
my
just can't do it.
babies,
Yeah.
Even when you were competing in like taekwondo or stuff like
Nah,
that, your mom never watched.
Never.
Wow.
Never, man. She for the longest time, bro, she used to call it karate. so when I did taekwondo, she called it karate. And then when I did kickboxing, she called kickboxing taekwondo. It's like, just don't worry with that. Typical Philip mom.
You know why she wasn't at the events? Because she was at the wrong event, bro.
Watching the wrong thing, yeah.
She went to like taekwondo when you're doing karate in another suburb. It's like, where's my son? All these times.
She goes to KFC and you're doing the UFC. She's like,
Where's my Anna?
She thought it was just banana ketchup this whole time. Oh, you work for banana ketchup. I love it.
oh man,
bro, I could imagine.
Was your dad like supportive of you when you started fighting? Like how was his?
At the beginning, he wanted me like obviously like typical filler dad. Oh, you have to study this, study that. You have to go do a trade. But then he saw like how much I enjoyed it, and he knew I had a real passion for it because like I was always going to training after school, and I was basically never home because I was always training or I was at school. Sometimes I'd miss school and go train, and just so like it was he knew how much I loved it. So so like he got behind it and was like probably the biggest supporter that's pushed me to do it, because at a couple of stages I was like, there's no money in this, it's not a real career, but he was like, man, you got a passion for it and you love it, and you can see it in your eyes that this is what you're made to do. So I was like, all right, push.
That's sick. That's awesome, man.
That is that's what we've been noticing more recently with like guests and stuff. It's just like parents that are more supportive.
It makes us
ones that we didn't have.
It makes us look like liars, bro. Like, tell us about your traumatic parents. It's like, no, our parents were supportive. I'm just like,
my mom was like, well, Anak, you have to be a nurse. You have to. My god! So she was the one again. Like, she still didn't watch any fights, but she didn't know. She didn't know any of it. She didn't want to see her kids get hurt, and she just wanted me to do
I thought like MMA was like, oh, you're gonna be an artista?
Oh, artista.
Martial artista?
Mixed martial art. Martial artist.
From MMA to MMK.
Oh man! Ma'ala mo.
So if you don't know the context, MMK is like a drama series in the Philippines.
Is that on that TFC?
Yeah. It's one of the longest running drama series. It's like the home and away of the Philippines.
They basically take like somebody's true life story and then they reenact it and then make it even more dramatic.
Of course they do. Of course the Philippines do.
You had TFC growing up? Oh man.
I just felt like we were the maddest Titos right then because he was like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
I'm the new generation of Philo. I'm the new generation. I'm like, what's that, bro?
New generation with their parents is supportive. Thanks, Dad.
I love it. Your mom wanted to be a nurse, but you're like, I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to need nurses.
I'm going to put people in the hospital. Instead of caring for people, I'm going to hurt people. My mom always used to say, Anak, your hands are made for loving, not fighting. I'm like, come on, mom.
Bro, yeah, you would have the maddest finishing line, bro. It's like, don't worry, I know a nurse. You're beat the shit out of
I got the hookup.
I got the hookup story, bro. I'll beat you up, but it'll be okay.
Oh man.
So was there any other sport that you got it? Like, so if it wasn't MMA, like what would it have been? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where's the multi-universe of Josh?
Yeah.
Like if he didn't
dance,
can't sing, can't dance.
No,
wasn't the smartest.
Like basketball was another thing.
I can't jump high at all.
Oh man. So it really was just MMA.
That's what I mean. I'll be honest, that's the only thing I was good at. So I had to stick with it. It's like, the sport chose me. Like I didn't choose the sport. So.
Hey,
that's mad, man.
Oh gosh.
But yeah,
that's it. There's no plan B after this. There's no like.
That's it, bro.
There's no other other option.
That's why like you've been all in since in teen years, right?
Yeah, but like the thing is that I like as much as I was chasing it as on the side and training on the side, my parents obviously still forced me to do a trade, and I had to be an electrician.
Right,
so I was an apprentice electrician all the way up until I got signed to the UFC.
Just to make your parents happy type of thing.
Like look, I did it. Now leave me alone. Let me chase my job. You know what I mean? Chase what I really want to do. You know. So
and now you're electrifying the world.
Hey, there you go. Damn.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like we were talking about weigh-ins before, right?
Yeah.
I was imagining like the perfect, because like when you go to a Filipino party, right? You get always commented on your body. Like, oh, you got on a little fat, and you're always comparing to your cousin, right?
See what I mean? Always comparing.
Always comparing. Like they should do weigh-ins at Filipino parties.
That's terrible.
They should, bro. Just before, because it could be like a new version of UFC, bro.
Yeah.
Ultimate Filipino children. Compete for our love, guys.
That's terrible.
They did away.
That's the worst.
It's like, Tumabagay, speak for yourself, Tita. You went before I did. We all know.
They have to do the stare down and everything, bro.
Oh,
and then after that, they just eat the foods. That's the sport, bro.
Yeah. All the Titos would be like taking their shirt off anyway. You're fucking hot.
or they have the singlet up and having the stomach showing.
They look like trainers with the singlet on their shoulder anyway.
Towels and shit.
They look like trainers anyway. So
that's funny. Has your dad ever been in your corner when you're doing like a competition or anything like that?
Never. He's always been just there watching, but he's never been in an actual corner. No, never been in an actual corner.
Has he ever tried to give you advice when you're like right before a fight or anything like that?
Just for you guys, you hurt him, you don't let him hurt you. That's basically
that's pretty solid.
I feel one of the it's probably like pretty messed up advice to give a kid, but probably his biggest advice that still sticks to me this day is that he goes, history only remembers winners.
Hey.
That's how old were you when he said that?
I was like probably
7.
about he said something like that, probably like 13 or 14, bro.
That's crazy.
Out of the womb and everything.
Yeah.
Yo, son. Come here.
Come here real quick.
History. Only remember
That's
winners.
some like Alexander the Great shit, bro. That's just
Even
like
at 13, I wouldn't have fucking understood what that meant, bro.
Yeah.
And then that kind of like stuck stuck with me. I was like, yeah, you're right. And then I really thought about it. I was like, think about all the guys that go to war. Like, you only remember the guys that are winning the wars. Like, you think about like Genghis Khan, he won all his wars. You think about, all those guys that do that, they want, they would get remembered.
Wow, man.
You know what I mean?
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a heavy, right? That's heavy. Now that you really think about it, you're just like, oh, wow, that's pretty heavy. Like,
but here we are, man. It's good advice because here we are.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Far out. I was gonna ask like, what's the weirdest thing your dad ever said? But like, that's even better. That's so much better.
Has anyone give like any randoms giving you advice, like, or even like the Titos and stuff, because they always claim to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
The fight knowledge of the Titos like seems to be like tremendous.
One of my uncles, right? Because I used to do, I still do, like try to do a lot of weightlifting and try to put on lots of muscle. So I eat lots of protein, so I have the protein shakes. My uncle at a party is like, you know what? You shouldn't eat so much protein. You don't have so much protein. He's saying it to me where his plate is full of fucking steak and sausages and chicken, and I'm just like, all right, Tito, yeah, cool, yeah. I won't have too much. I won't have too much protein.
Yeah.
Have your Titos ever given you?
To be honest, I've never had any advice from them. To be honest, I've all my Titos and Titas and most of my family. I've got one uncle that lives here in Australia, and the rest of them are in the Philippines. So I don't even really get to see all my family and stuff. So no, pretty good.
Do you travel to the Philippines a lot?
Do I travel?
Yeah, to the Philippines.
I used to go every year. Yeah. And then,
Was it like back in Pampanga, like your hometown?
Yeah, Pampanga. And my mum's from Boracay, so I was like, I got to go to Boracay heaps of times. Right? So good.
The locals like, oh, fuck, man, that's Josh.
Nah, I haven't been there since I've been popping off, No.
Have they started claiming you yet in Boracay and Pampanga?
Oh, bro, they've been doing that. Yeah, they've like I said, like I've now all of a sudden I've got all these cousins now I've never met before. You know what I mean? I got to show them to my brother. Like, hey, my bro, do you know who these guys are? They don't even know who they are.
Oh, bro, you're gonna have more pictures like this, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I did. We did for the thumbnail. The thumbnail of the video. I was like, I always wanted to do this for the fight.
He's the only one doing it. It never made any sense to do it because you're never with.
Out of the four of us, Raf is the only one doing it. The rest of us are just smiling like.
But then you're gonna get a lot of those pictures, bro. The more popping you're gonna get, the more photos of that you're gonna have, like from random Filipinos.
Have you had random people try to like want to start like be like, hey, can we spar, like that kind of stuff?
No, I've never had that. It's
probably scared.
It's because Don does comedy and stuff, and people always like, oh, you do comedy? Tell us a joke. It's not like people go to you like,
oh, they come and like, tell us a joke, make us laugh. Like,
or come to you like, fight.
Never like that, bro. Never get that, bro.
It just doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah, never get any of that. Never get any of that. But it's be honest, like now that I'm sort of getting like people recognize me and stuff, it's really, really weird, man. It's like, just kids come up to me and they got all their Snapchat out and they're all trying to film and take photos of me. Like I don't feel like anything's changed. Like I don't feel like I'm a different person. I just feel like the same person. And then there's like all these kids that are like, they're like, oh my God, that's just Culibao. Oh my God, let's get
Where's the weirdest place that you've actually got noticed?
Airport bathroom.
Airport bathroom.
At the urinal?
I know you from I know you from somewhere.
You must be Josh Culibao.
Kuya.
Step Kuya.
Oh my God, Step Kuya. I think we're going to be late for our flight.
We're going to be late. Always fun in the Philippines. Oh man,
Josh Culibao.
That's probably the weirdest place, bro. The airport bathroom is probably the weirdest place.
Can I have your
was it like an older fella type of thing, or like
I don't know, probably someone roughly around the same age as me. Just went there, was washing my hands, and he's looking in the mirror. He's next to me. He's looking at me. And what are you looking at? And then like he went out first, and then as I walked out, he was waiting for me. He was him and his girlfriend, and he's got his girlfriend to take a photo of us together. So I was like, Fair enough.
Oh man.
Yeah, that is the worst. That is a weird place.
Luckily, he didn't ask you then and there.
Yeah,
He's like, "Hey man, can I get your autograph?" Yeah, just let me shake first, bro. Oh man.
Oh, bro.
The dude was chucking his shit.
He just came up.
Hold on, Josh.
Yo, just wait a second.
Can you sign my shirt?
He's doing this. He's got like tissue.
His second hand still dripping and shit.
Oh, it's messed up, bro. Oh, dude.
It's only gonna get weirder, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you just blow up like a motherfucker, it's gonna get weird.
It's only the beginning, my friend.
Yeah. Fuck.
Higher heights.
Don't worry, Garcia gets noticed a lot from the podcast.
Not in the toilets, though.
He gets noticed.
Oh, fucking hell.
You were telling us about like when you were getting pho, and then someone yelled
Oh,
at
at Blacktown.
in Blacktown. Yeah. He was eating, and then as he was leaving, someone yelled at Tito Planet.
Tito
or that-
Planet, yeah.
No, it was Tito Man.
Tito Man, yeah. One of the jokes that we said. So
That's
man.
so dope.
Do you have people yelling out to you as well? Like,
Yeah,
like,
they scream out Kuya, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah?
People just random.
That's
just,
cool,
Kuya,
man.
It's Kuya. It's mad. It's cool.
oh, that's mad, bro.
It's cool. And then,
you really gotta do everyone.
But then
calling
it's
people.
not even like a filler person. It'd be like a white dude, screaming
Oh,
out
that's
Kuya.
mad.
So it's like,
yes, man.
putting the fillers on the map. That's for
That's
sure.
it.
They're saying filler words. They don't even know what it means.
His any time, man. Like,
You could be Josh Putangana.
Got everyone screaming it out. Got everyone screaming it out.
His mum would never want to go to his wedding ever, like anything. That was if that was his name, far out.
the only time I don't like getting called Kuya is when it's a hot chick. You're fuck.
Oh, you don't like getting called Kuya?
Just get Kuya zone
Kuya
already.
zone, bro.
Kuya zone.
No, bro. Do you have any stories? Anyone have any stories of being Kuya zone?
Yeah.
Or even now we're in the age where we can get Tito zoned, bro.
Damn.
He looked at his
He got me back, man. He got me back.
He got me back for the Kuya comment.
Tito zone, bro. Man, imagine that.
Somebody called me Tito once. That was like, but like, man, I'm old. I don't look it, but I'm old. So, like, I remember when I was.
We're not even gonna be like, no, bro.
I'm not
old.
No one's trying to be supportive of him. We're just like, oh yeah,
You're right. You're not. Yeah. No, but like, I remember being in a club once, and I was just dancing, and turned around, and I was like dancing, and I saw this chick. She turns around, and she goes, "Kuya?" And I was like, I gotta get out of this club.
No way.
It was just like, it was a friend of mine who was younger. And yeah, so she called me Kuya. I'm just like, I gotta get out of this club. Gotta get out of this club.
I like the way you dance, Kuya. That'll just kill your vibe. Oh, bro.
I've never been clubbing since. Stay the fuck out the clubs.
How about you? Have you been Kuya?
Yeah, definitely. More recently too, just on the IGs and shit. They're like, oh fuck, just cut it off there, huh?
You don't like? I don't understand. You guys don't like getting called?
Nah, because I'm trying to get in. Like,
I thought maybe like the boys calling you Kuya or something.
No. It's
Are you trying to get in with the boys?
The guys, like, it's cool, like, whatever. Like, they call me Kuya, but it's a nice chick. She's cute, whatever. And then she calls me Kuya, like, oh man, I kind of ruined all chances now.
Kuya zoned.
Yeah,
Kuya
hard.
zone.
Oh, man.
It's funny because like my younger brother Ken has never called me Kuya ever. Ever.
That's like me and Joseph. Like, I never call him Kuya Joseph.
Is it why don't you call him Kuya?
Again, like we have that relationship where it's like as much as he's my older brother, I see him more of like I don't know. I see him more as like a friend. Like we're only at 2 years apart. Where my actual Kuya is my actual Kuya Justin is like 8 years, and then my other Kuya and that is another 8 years from him. So it's like they're actual Kuyas. Where Joseph is my age. Like I see him as he's my age.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I see him as more like a mate, if anything.
Is that right, Ken?
Oh, you see me as a mate now, huh? See me as a mate now, Ken? Huh?
Now I'm gonna learn more.
I'm gonna learn more Krav Maga to kick your ass, bro.
Call me Kuya Krav.
Kuya Krav.
No, but to be honest, when we were growing up, my Kuya Justin used to beat us. Like, I don't know, we went through a phase where we used to just call him Justin. Even just calling him Justin then felt weird. But we went through a phase where, like, he goes, you guys are going to start calling me Kuya from now. He said that to me and Joseph. And then, like, he was just so adamant. Anytime we just called his name Justin, he'd beat the shit out of us.
Wow.
Like, he forgot, like, the I need to be told that. But now, but now it just feels weird not to call him Kuya.
Did you want me to edit the Kuya before the Justin?
Just because he might beat me up.
Just save your butt for a bit.
I'll be honest, edit that. You got he's gonna actually beat my ass.
I got you, bro. Imagine that. It's like, oh, Josh Culibao couldn't make his next fight because his actual Kuya beat him up. It's like, shit, man.
He would. He was. He had a full, like, he got us into it. Now, like, for so many years, like, it just feels weird not to call him that.
Yeah.
So
it's a title, like, of, like, I like, for me, it was because I'm one of the eldest in my family, it's a title that like holds respect and stuff like that.
That's also the reason why I have it as a nickname. It's it's not given, it's like earned. You know, it's like earned. Being called a Kuya is earned. It's like, you could look at someone, it's like, oh yeah, you treat him as a big brother, but that's earned. You can't just say that to anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's fucking mad, man.
Yeah, so Ken, you gotta respect Don, man.
Don's
like, oh man, you know, Kuya is a respect level thing.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Like, oh, my brother never calls me Kuya.
No, because Ken and I are similar ages as well. Yeah. So, like, and when we were younger, it's just growing up, we're kind of like the same age. So.
Yeah, that's how I felt with Joseph. Like, no different.
Yeah, that's what I feel as well. Like with my cousins that are in the same realm of age, I just leave that Kuya for the ones that were like 10 years above or something like that. Like the actual, not the actual Kuyas, but I always leave it for the generation above us or something like that. I don't know why, but maybe that's why being called Kuya now is a bit weird now, because now that means we're 10 years older than everyone else.
Yeah, it's the realization, right?
Yeah. But I'd rather be called Kuya than Tito. Actually, I don't mind being called Tito.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel like it's that time, man.
I don't know. It still feels weird for me, yeah.
I'm not going to be that guy that's going to be like 50 and holding on to my youth type of thing, man. Just call me Kuya. And even if not Kuya, Tito. Even when I reach the Lolo stage, I want to be called Lolo, bro.
It's like,
you're embracing it all.
Yeah, I'm going to embrace it, bro. Because like my dad doesn't want me because I have a 1-year-old son. My dad doesn't want to be called Lolo. My mom doesn't want to be called Lola. Why? They have these new nicknames for it now. It's like, because I'm to my son, I'm Papa.
Yeah.
So now it's Papa Lo for my dad, and Mama La for my mom. So it's a weird thing.
Hybrid.
Yeah, it's like hybrid thing. I'm like, but when I was a kid, I called my Lolo. I'm like, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a nowadays that generation type of thing, but yeah, I feel like my parents don't want to be called Lolo.
That's their pronouns.
What did you call it?
Call me Papa Lo. Papa Lo.
That's it. You know, he's adding a little trauma to it. It's like, you better call me this.
What do you call your Lola and Lolo? Just Lola and Lolo? Yeah, it's weird that like, I mean,
but like if you were like, I don't know, I'm just trying to get into your minds. If you become a Lolo, would you want to be called Lolo?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd be like 72, and I reckon at that time I'd be like, I think it's time they call me Tito. I think it's time.
That's when you feel like.
It's a weird thing because like I feel like Filipinos love to hold on to that youth.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I think we got spoiled with the fountain of youth. You know, like how we look young when we're older. People are like, now I want to be perceived as young.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, nah. I'm gonna embrace it, man.
All right, Lolo Raf.
lean into it.
You know what? It's more easier to embrace it than to hold on to your youth because you got to work out, eat healthy.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Not eat adobo. That's what you got to
Get that hair pigmentation.
I said that to you in confidence.
It's the Bunso Kuya dynamic, bro. It's the
One for the Bunsos.
Yeah, I love this. This is great.
One for the Bunsos. I love it.
Oh man. Should we get to one of the segments?
Yeah, let's get. Yeah, true. Thanks for reminding me. I always forget. I forgot last episode, but here we go. Let's go to one of our segments.
Oh,
Hey.
I was kind of thinking about this today when I was walking my dog. Like, usually just get like realizations and stuff. Just from time to time. Usually when you're doing something like going for a walk, something relaxing, just like give you time to reflect. So recently, like last week or last Sunday, a week ago, we were doing the video for the Krav Maga thing, right? And I realized then, like, I'm not cut out to be a soldier, bro. Like, this whole fucking stressful fucking, like, my body was wrecked after that. Like, and that was only 2 hours of what kind of seems like it's probably just like practice or training and shit, let alone get to the point where people are battling, losing lives and shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to be worrying like, fucking, I'm thirsty, man. I can't fight right now. my back hurts. I can't,
For context, we shot a video for a Krav Maga gym. Out in Gosford.
Yeah.
And yeah, these guys were the stars of the video.
Oh my god!
You're doing all the demonstrations and stuff,
Bro, you know how you said when you started off with martial arts and stuff and then you found your calling?
Yeah.
I had no calling at all, bro.
he's like, the line is busy.
I was like, is this what I'm meant to do? No, man.
This ain't me. This ain't me.
Just keep podcasting. Just sit down and talk shit, bro.
Last week, Krav Maga called and I said nope. My buddy said
Decline.
Oh gosh.
Oh, bro.
But even like at a young age, like I never really done the whole athletic thing, so it was obvious. And like there's a lot of things like when you're growing up, you kind of realize like I'm self-aware, like not like well, you were aware at that time that you were going to be a fighter.
I knew I was fat, bro. That's how I actually found, like the other day, I found photos of me. Actually, I got them now if you guys want to see how fat I actually was.
All right, let's go.
Let's see how fat I actually was. Here we go.
I keep a photo of my kid in my photo as motivation. I love that you keep your fat self as a motivation thing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's like standard.
At the beach too and everything.
How old were you with that photo?
14, 15.
Right. Just before
I started
fighting
like getting
began.
straight into it,
Right.
I was big
That looks
boy.
like a standard like photo of a Filipino kid.
That loves the adobo.
That looks like a standard Filipino.
That was the kid that loved to eat rice every meal, bro.
Yeah, man.
3-4 plates.
Oh, bro. What's your rice and food ratio?
Like how much rice do you put to the food?
Ulam.
Bro, it has to be more rice in the ulam, bro.
Yeah.
Just that's the way it was.
Am I crazy?
30,
You are
70?
crazy, bro.
Am I
This
crazy
guy's
for wanting a
50-50.
half? Like,
Sorry?
I do half.
That's like what's wrong with you? That's honestly that's like
That's some psycho shit.
that's
Some
like
serial killing shit, bro.
that's like what white people would do. They go to a filler party and they're like, people look at their plate like, you went half and half. No, that doesn't work. Like even if you go half rice and then a little bit of pancit and then another ulam, then that's fair. But you don't go half.
Yeah, the pancit doesn't count as
No,
ulam.
the pancit counts as rice, but another version of rice, bro.
Yeah, just the tastier rice.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Fucking hell.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
I love it because every week we find out how crazy Don is, man. It's crazy because we were discussing ratios for like I think about 2 weeks ago, and he was in disbelief. It was like, oh, 50-50 is not a thing.
You guys never seen his plate before.
I'm busy eating my. I'm eating like 70% rice and 30%.
The other thing was
Yeah.
right. So I remember when I was boxing, I needed to cut out rice because I needed to get down to close to under 60 kilos. And I probably weighed like similar, like 80 or something like that time. And I remember having the conversation with my mum at that time, Mom, I'm not going to have rice anymore. She lost her shit. She lost her shit. And so my rice to ulam ratio was legit, like maybe 100% ulam and then no rice, or maybe just 10% rice just to satisfy my mom.
Just to make your mom happy.
Yeah. Because she was like, have some rice. Like you're looking too skinny and this. I'm like, that's because I'm trying to make weight.
I'm trying to be skinny, mom. I'm trying to be skinny.
You're not my son.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
You're saying the wrong way because you're saying, oh, I'm trying to make weight. And your mom's thinking like, you're not going to gain anything with eating that much.
Stop making me wait.
Did you have a similar conversation with your parents? Like because you obviously.
Yeah, I would, no, to be honest, it's just like again, like he was talking about having like a realization, like, and I just like realized like, I was fat. I still remember this like pretty clearly. Like I was at the pools and 14, 13, I was really fat. And I just remember hearing like in the background, like these two guys standing outside the pool while I was in the water, like talking to each other. I think I couldn't hear him. And they were like talking to each other saying like, fuck, look how big that kid is. How could you let your kid get that fat? And that just stuck with me.
Oh.
They thought I couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
But that's what stuck with me. And I was like, yeah, they're right though. Like it was, as much as it was like out to hurt my feelings, but that was like a massive like
wake up call.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, they're right.
That's it. I'm starting to fight.
Yeah.
Kuya, show me how to do a punch.
Then he went to find them in the parking lot, beat the shit out of them, choked them out.
Imagine what like that was their life, right? Like those two people talking to each other. They go by every fat kid. And then they would sit next to him.
Yeah, just constantly fucking roasting
they're
everybody.
not actually angels though. They're actually angels that give you realizations, bro.
Yeah. Not all heroes wear
Like,
capes.
That's it, man.
Every time you win the fight, I see you like jump onto the fence, right? And just like go, yeah, but I know you're looking for those two motherfuckers. Like,
Where are you now?
where are you guys? Come on, man. Who's the fight card now?
He goes to the same pool every like weekend looking for where those guys.
Where are Please, your next post-match interview, can you just challenge him?
Like
call
those
him out,
dudes
bro.
when I was 13 years old at this pool. Hey, I know you know who I am now. I'm coming for you. Leon, let's go.
Bro, that's crazy, man.
Then we can't really like blame our titos for calling us fat then. Like, you know.
Oh, we can't fight them. So.
You could just disappoint them, bro. Really bad, bro.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
Oh man.
Far out. I like that. You turned it into motivation, bro, and you took it.
But it was just like one of those things that was like, fuck, that one hurt. Like that hurt the feelings. But then also it was like, there's always some truth to some stuff like that. So it was like, yeah, they're actually right. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I remember when my wife was pregnant, my tita would always walk up to my wife and be like, "Oh, you're pregnant," and then she would walk up to me and do the same thing. And
come on, there's no filter with
there's
it.
no filter. But I didn't took it the way you took it. I went to I just ate some more. You know what? It tastes too good.
I can hear the food calling to me. This is my calling.
Why do you think Filipinos like to sound like because that's the sound of a sizzling food. A sizzling plate of sisig.
When the oil drips in the barbecue.
Oh, bro.
Everyone's just getting cold.
Everybody looks like, huh? Kinda.
And also, I have to like my parents. Like this is one thing that I realized as well is that like our parents never really knew how to like speak to us on like an emotional level, and the way they asked like how are you and how you feeling was not how are you and how you feeling. They asked, are you hungry?
Yeah, have you eaten?
Have you eaten? That's how they showed that they were caring about you. It was never like, oh, how was your day? It was never about that. It was like, have you eaten yet? What'd you eat? You hungry? That's how they
Take
always
some food and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So-
If you're sad, they're like, oh, just have some.
have some more
food.
rice.
Yeah.
What do you
I
want
think
to
like
eat?
talking about emotions and stuff wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
I suppose for them, right? But I guess they grew up in a different era, and then immigrating, it's just like, we got bigger problems than emotions.
Yeah, bro.
So I don't know. It's really hard to expect that from parents.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I actually heard that in like I was just going through Instagram on a reel, and there was like a quote a dude made that was like, people that have enough depression is a commodity. Can't even speak now.
Song it as well.
It's like only people that have time and have time
as
to
a commodity.
To be depressed. Like only then you can be depressed. So
Well, growing up in the Philippines, man, I never met one depressed. You know, like someone that was going through depression. That's because we couldn't afford to think about that shit. You know?
That's it.
I don't know. I always thought that was a white people thing, to be honest.
Yeah, it seems like
mental illness.
It's when you have the capacity for it, and when you have so much more privilege, then maybe that's what
the less privilege. Yeah.
Because like it reminds me of something that a friend of mine told me. It was like we were doing this training camp, and at the end of it, he was like, everything's kind of in perspective when you're in a fight, because you're not thinking about paying the bills when someone's trying to punch you in the face.
100%.
And it's just like, that's where your focus is in that moment.
100%.
You're not worried about anything.
I agree with you 100%. I've said in an interview before exactly the same thing, where it's like the argument that you just had with your missus doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The bills you got to pay after it doesn't matter. Just for the next however long the fight is.
Yeah.
You're present in that moment. You know what I mean?
That's some Fast and Furious shit.
Yeah, bro.
For the next 10 seconds or less, I'm free. Oh, man.
Imagine
Stop
being
thinking about your bills.
Imagine being an accountant though.
Oh, shit.
You're getting punched in the face. Oh, that's an expense.
My face is like, that's going to cost.
That's calculating costs. Like, oh, bro. Can I afford a loan?
That's funny.
Oh, man.
You want to hear the fun fact of the week?
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Dawn, white Hungarian salami.
Shouts to people like someone actually sent a photo of the Don brand white Hungarian salami and be like, I found it because of your podcast.
Really? Yeah. You're giving them free advertising, bro. Just change my fucking soundbite, please. He likes it just because there's my name in it. But the fun fact of the week that I have for this week, we were talking about Michael Buffer and Bruce Buffer. So Michael Buffer is the guy who was responsible for Let's Get Ready to Rumble, right? He was the one, and apparently that catchphrase was inspired by Muhammad Ali, who was like, Rumble, young man, rumble, because he was like trying to think of what's something that's really compelling to say. And the really cool thing that I heard about Michael Buffer is he trademarked that in 92 or 93, and he made fucking bank off of that. Yeah. Just
Isn't there
that
a
phrase.
record of like this guy gets paid so much based on the number of words he says or some shit?
Yeah.
It's like millions, right?
Yeah. And the guy who announces for the UFC, which is Bruce Buffer, his half brother, he has a catchphrase, it's time. So like they have their own catchphrases and stuff like that. And I was like, man, how much is it to trademark what's doing? I always say what's doing. And I looked it up and I went like, oh, it's a lot of money. Fuck.
How much is it?
I mean, just to trademark it for clothing, to put it on clothing, it's like $600 something dollars. Just to put those two words to trademark it. And I'm just like, oh, maybe I'll just save up a bit for it.
Jesus Christ.
Damn. I love that the fun fact had to do something about fighting.
Yeah,
you had a fun fact for me, bro. Just a fun fact for me.
True podcaster.
With that just for you, bro.
This is me trying to make everything Filipino.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. What would the Filipino Michael Buffer say? What would be his catchphrase?
Damn.
It's like, ayos na.
He'd be like, ito na!
Game ka na ba?
Shit.
Game na!
Hey, you better trademark that. Shit, that sounded good too.
I'm surprised if they haven't already trademarked
Oh, dude.
that, man.
That's on t-shirts for sure.
Yeah, bro.
It's going to cost 600,000 pesos.
Pesos.
Man. What would they say?
Imagine that they're walking in instead of like the statistics of the weight and stuff. It'd just be chismis.
Yeah. I heard.
Now coming to the ring, I heard he had chicken adobo before this fight.
His mom said he's eating too much rice.
Weighing about 68 kilograms, which I think is a bit too much for this weight category.
And didn't finish his studies.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Oh man, what's rumble in Tagalog? Does anyone know?
Rumble. I don't know, man.
Rumble.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Speaking of walk-ins, do you have a song, like a particular song?
Yeah.
Like, or do you
Did you
change
want
it
to
up?
like?
I had one that I was always walking out to, which was El Chapo by The Game and Skrillex, and then just
That's a good
the
song.
last one that I fought in Perth. I changed it up to Murder on the Dance Floor by Sophie Ellis Baxter.
That's so good, man.
Because it was just like again, I wanted to like do something special for the Australian crowd. We came back to Australia. It's been 3 years since COVID, and that they come back to Australia, and I just wanted to do something special and not your typical AC/DC rock, you know. Right? So it was like something different.
That's sick, bro.
Australian banger.
That's so good, man.
And
Murder on the Dance Floor.
It like relates to the fight in the cage, bro. Which
It's
the
still
cage
gangster.
Yeah, right.
And I kill the groove, DJ.
Oh shit!
I know.
Where's the karaoke? You guys are doing. We're all holding microphones here now. Where's the karaoke? Get it out. Come on.
To be real, I kind of understand other dude now. It's like this guy. He's for walking out
No wonder he's angry,
and you're like, I know. It's like, yeah, man.
Gonna burn this goddamn house right now.
Oh, it's so good, bro. That's so good. That just shows off the mentality that you have to that. You're having fun out there.
Yeah,
bro.
man. Like I said, this I love it, man. I love it. This is a dream come true for me to just speak to the UFC. Like I've dreamt about fighting in the UFC, and like I said to you guys, like when people are coming up to me and they know who I am, and like these teenagers come up to me and they've got their Snapchat out and they're they're losing their mind that they get to meet me. It's like, everything just seemed like everything just happened overnight. You know what I mean? But it hasn't. It's been years and years and years of hard work to get to where I am. But like it just. Yeah, I don't feel personally different. I don't feel different.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Bro, any Usher, any Neo, any Chris Brown, and it has to be always like the lovey-dovey songs, bro, because you're always trying to caress someone. Bro.
He's a lover and a fighter. Right?
Next walkout, bro. When you walk out into your next fight, sing karaoke, bro.
Sing karaoke.
Yeah, man.
Really
I'll do my own walkout. I'll be singing.
Your own walkout, bro.
He's walking in. No. He's fucking like doing the moonwalking sideways. No.
And you're feeling your body, you're contemplating. Change your ways, bring your crew.
And I need someone doing my backup singing.
We'll do it. We'll be right there with you, bro.
I'll be there with the garden hose, just like making it look like it's raining and shit.
Nah, bro, we'll get SKB for you, bro. Get the break dances and
Shawty's doing his thing.
You got it bad. Imagine that, bro. You're singing and you're going out to your fight. It's like, oh man, this guy, he has time to sing.
that would go viral though. That would go viral though. Just a bunch of fellows walking out singing karaoke and dancing there in a music video.
You know how iconic the mic is itself? Just seeing you holding the magic mic is just
That's so soft, bro. If you knock someone out and you start going, you got it,
standing over him.
Yeah. When you're rolling,
you stand up and you fall right back.
Oh no!
That's so much fun.
That has to be your next song to walk out
That's
to.
so much
bro.
fun. Everyone's gonna be like, "What? What's going on?"
I'm gonna caress my opponent, bro. Make him fall in love with me, bro.
Bro, he's in a fucking chokehold. He's just like, "You just gotta sleep. It's fine. You're fine. You're fine."
He's whispering in his ear.
When you feel it in your
Change.
That would be even more intimidating than someone yelling and growling at you.
Yeah, imagine coming out and some dude's singing its song to you, like a love song to you. You'd be like, "What is this? This guy's got some problems."
What was
mental problems.
What was Usher
Hey,
doing in his video? He was doing one of these.
Yeah. He was like popping and shit.
Popping and locking.
You gotta have the baggy jeans on and the white singlet and
Usher, next one. Man.
Usher. All right.
Walk out to Usher, bro. If you can walk out to Murder on the Dance Floor,
Yeah.
you can walk out to You Got It Bad.
You got it bad.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Wait, when is your next fight, by the way? Just,
We're just looking for an opponent that makes sense.
yeah.
You know.
Is there someone that you'd be like, I don't know if I fight that motherfucker?
The one dude that I have a draw with. So
Yeah.
like I've got 11
fun.
wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, and this 1 draw is just bugging me because
yeah.
I know he knows that I beat him. So it's like it's just one of those things where it's like a competitive, where it's like I need that one back sort of
Right.
thing. You know what I mean?
Fontaine, is it?
What's that? Sorry.
What's his name? Fontaine.
Charles Jourdain.
Jourdain. John Day.
Jourdain
This is, from Canada, isn't he?
from Canada. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Whoa.
But
Yeah.
to be honest, he seems like a pretty cool guy. Like if I wasn't such competitive and he wasn't such competitive, like we'd probably be really good
He's
mates.
Canadian. We'll probably get along
Yeah,
with
he's
him.
probably really nice, eh?
Yeah.
I heard he has a sick pair of Jordans.
That was so dry, bro. That was so dry. Hey, but his nickname is Air, so he's trying to do it. He's trying to do it. He's trying to do it.
Jordan.
Must have a good pair of Jordans.
Hey man, you miss all the shots you don't take, bro.
Shoot your shot, bro. Shoot your shot.
Hey, bro, the Italians are after me, man. I'm gonna just throw as many jokes as I can.
Do what you gotta do, bro. Do what you gotta do.
I gotta do it, bro.
Yeah, Jourdain.
All the Italians get to it.
Bloody sweet spaghetti.
Well, the Italians got to get past the condom heads as well to get to him. So. It's like Raf's John Wick now. Everybody's after him.
He got excommunicated.
Bro, I'm John Vicks right now, bro.
John Vicks. Why do we all have the same childhood? Where Vicks fix everything, bro. Vicks fix everything.
Just because it rhymes doesn't mean it's true.
John Vicks, Kuya, no Reeves.
I'm dead, bro.
Oh gosh.
John Vicks.
John Vicks.
Shit.
We gotta get a big sponsorship for you. We gotta get a big sponsorship.
Bro. Big sponsorship for you would be the best, bro.
Wake him up, bro. Off the Vicks.
Right underneath the nose. Wake up, wake up.
It looks like Vaseline, but it's really Vicks.
He's burning his shit up.
It's all burn. And then you walk down to Burn by Usher, bro.
Hey. Have you seen the one where it's like people have told stories where if their parents want them to go to sleep, they put Vicks under the eyes.
That burned your eyes.
Yeah, they gotta close the eyes.
Put Vicks on your gloves, man. Oh my gosh.
Damn, yeah, you give me some
That's not
ideas.
illegal, is it?
Right
That'd
on
be
top,
funny,
right on top of your foot, bro. Right when you get him hit. You don't even hit him. You just like pulls it right underneath the nose.
Oh, bro.
John Vicks right there,
bro.
bro.
John
Too much,
Vicks,
man. Too much.
Cuyano Reeves.
Cuyano Reeves. Fucking hell.
Oh, man. Oh, my head hurts.
Oh, John Vicks.
Oh man, snip it.
Proudly sponsored by Vicks. Vapor Robe.
You can be the vapor thug, bro.
Vapor thug. Oh, dude.
What's the John Wick 3 Vaporabellum?
What's the new one called? There's a new one, right?
I don't know.
I don't know,
There's a
bro.
new one
Everyone's
that's
trying
out,
to kill
bro.
him now. I don't even know.
That's it, bro.
What else can he kill, bro? Like, what else is they doing? Like, the whole
Do
agency.
you think at this point he's like, I should have just let him kill the dog? At this point, he's like, oh, bro, I think I took this too far. I'm supposed to be retired right now. It's like Taken, right? It's like, you're a bad father, right? It's come to this point, and they're like, maybe you should have just left the dog alone.
Yeah. All because of
Could've
that,
just
bro.
got a new dog, man. He already has a new dog, man, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it doesn't replace. It doesn't change things. Oh man.
Oh
Literally,
man.
the whole series started because of a dog, bro.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's funny because like it didn't have any story. The first one didn't have any story. It was just like
It's just a revenge. It's like you
I'm
killed
just
my
gonna
dog.
kill
I'm
every
gonna kill these
motherfucker,
motherfuckers.
yeah. That's nuts.
That's so good.
Still such a good movie, bro.
Yeah, bro, it is, bro.
I fucking love it.
Just so much violence and death in that, bro.
Yeah, neon lights as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's dying in a rave or something. Oh man. Vicks, sponsor us, please, bro.
Let's do it,
Bro.
I'll sponsor Josh.
Yeah, sponsor Josh, man.
Yeah.
Have Vicks right here.
Yeah, Vicks.
Oh, bro.
Remember, Vicks fix everything, bro. So muscles, sickness, everything, bro.
Kuya Vicks, bro.
I could add that in the nickname now.
Only if they get only for the right price, bro.
Yeah,
Only
bro.
for the right
Yeah.
price.
Oh, bro.
We getting paid over here.
I'm just
100%.
imagining your corner dudes fucking putting Vicks on you.
He's rubbing it on your chest. And you're like, you're good. You're
Just
good.
breathe in.
Breathe.
Just put it underneath your nose.
You're like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He rubs it on your feet, then puts your socks on.
I was just about to say that too, bro. If only we could fight with socks on, bro.
And then you wake up with like the ugliest socks. It's just like, oh, bro.
This is the first UFC fight with socks on.
He has Vicks on it. The logo.
Oh, my head
It would be
You guys
funny.
are too much, bro.
Oh, my head hurts, man. Oh,
You need some Vicks, bro.
yeah. So, I'm gonna rub it on my forehead.
Yeah, you'll grow your hair back.
That wasn't me this time. That wasn't me that time. That wasn't me, bro. I didn't do that, bro.
Oh, bro.
That's the hair going like that. It's draining away.
Everyone's taking shots at you now.
It's the Kuya. It's the Kuya, bro.
It's because I can take it. It's because I can take it.
can
I can take a punch.
Take a punch. Still, I don't get that as a compliment.
Oh man,
Oh, bro.
That's good, bro.
fire up.
Welcome to the podcast.
So much laughter,
Yeah,
man.
man. I knew that this was gonna be a fun one. I knew this was gonna be like a crazy one.
Yeah.
Oh, fire
Okay,
up.
I can breathe again.
Cool.
Did you have any other topics you wanted to broach with Mr. Josh Kuya
I'm
Culibao?
good, bro. I think we're good, right?
I think I think it was
Yeah.
sweet.
Is there anything that you want to say?
Bro, I'm just happy to be on. I've been a fan of this podcast for a little bit, you know. I could relate to this, you know.
That means so much, man,
I was
honestly.
saying,
Can you look at that camera and say, I'm a fan of the Cheatcoders?
this is a paid promotion, guys. I'm a fan of.
Hi, Josh Culibao. I'm a fan.
Yeah, bro. Like I was saying off air that like it's just something that I could relate to. That was, you know, Filipinos in Australia. You know, like you get cousins and stuff that are all Filipino that are from Philippines that are really it's like our own, like you said, like our own generation kind of like understand
Yeah.
our trauma. We're related by trauma.
Bro, it's so good, man. You're like Filipino Australian flying the flag for Philippines and also flying the flag for Australia, bro. Like it's freaking inspiring to see you out there, man. It's really cool.
Appreciate it, bro.
It's
Again, like,
massive too, bro. Like, bro, you're in the UFC. Like, it's weird saying it. But it's like, hey, this dude is in the UFC, fucking Filipino dude, and he's in Sydney.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Usually, you have
Pure
to find
blood
them
as
in,
well.
like,
Pure blood.
pure blood
yeah,
filler.
exactly.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know.
But
It's just such a big thing. Like I don't think like if people like that are listening now don't know you yet, it's like people in America say your name like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Just because like there's the main event, but then they'll be like, bro, check out this card here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's so massive that it's it's hard to like comprehend that you're in the room right now.
Relax, bro. You're gonna give me a big head, bro.
The weirdest thing that I seen, like when, like, I don't know, I was just looking up the stuff like on YouTube. People talk about you like you're like a what do you call it, on the horses and shit. Like when there's like a dollar figure with the betting, it's like, oh man, I reckon he's gonna do well. Yeah. Like he's looking at you like the Sabong kind of, and I was like, man, that's kind of weird. Like,
yeah, like I was reading comments as I was like doing like watching your stuff on YouTube. You look at the comments, everyone seems to be like a analysis on first take type of vibe.
Expert.
They try to be like, oh, everyone's like an expert on, and when they talk about it, it's like, oh, I love the way he pivoted onto like this side when he, on this moment, and I'm like, bro, it's like you're on that level where people like, because that's a sports thing, right? It's no longer like everyone's analyzing your stats, analyzing your movement. It's like your technique and talking about things.
Like
that
I said, bro, all this again,
knows.
It's all weird to me because, like, again, I don't view myself any differently. Like I don't like the people around me don't change. Like it's the people that love me still love me. The people that I'm cool with are still cool with me. You know, it's like I don't feel any type of way that I'm like better than everyone now. Like or just because I'm in the UFC. Like I feel like the people around me, they keep me grounded. You know what I mean? And yeah, like probably the biggest people that do keep me grounded is, my missus, my brothers, my family, they all keep me grounded. They don't, as much as it'd be nice for me to have a big head and be like, yeah, I deserve this, I deserve that. I don't feel that way because they just remind me who I am. Like at the end of the day, I'm still the Bunso.
That's it, bro. Bunso mentality, bro. Imagine if you had the Kuya mentality, bro.
You'd be bullying everybody.
Hey Kev, I'm just helping you, remember?
Yeah, Ken. Hear that?
But like, bro, like just I think because everyone, even in the hip hop world, just signing it's not enough, man. Like you gotta prove yourself. Like you making it to UFC with your mentality. That can't be like the goal, right?
Well, the goal was never just to get to the UFC. The goal was always to just be, in my mind is that I always wanted to be regarded as like, whenever anybody mentions a fighter in that weight division, they always got to mention my name. That's how I've always wanted, like the best guys to ever do it in that division, and you have to mention.
Yeah, getting compared to.
You got to get people arguing. Who's the best?
Well, Josh done this, and then you could say, oh well, Alex Volkanovski done this, or Conor McGregor done that, or Aldo done this. Like I want to be like in that kind of realm. That's like always been.
Do you watch people analyze you? Like you know how the people like they're like they'll have like.
Nah, I've learned to like
keep away from that.
To stay away from. Probably one of the hardest things is just keep away from comments because like I just know how toxic people are in comments. I avoid comments.
How about like the one like analysis, like sports fully like analysis, like professional trained experts when they talk on TV about like say they're analyzing your fight? Would you avoid that as well?
To be honest, I don't really take notice to any of that stuff either. So like it's just Just
it would have been funny if he did, and you'd be like, "This guy doesn't know shit.
Doesn't know shit. doesn't know what I'm doing, bro. He's just making all this out."
Josh is throwing a jab right here. There's another jab,
and then I'm in my own head like, bro, I don't even know I'm doing that. They're breaking it down before I don't even know I'm doing this.
That's the ancient stance from 1965's Kung Fu master.
He knows his tail, and then blah, blah.
You see how they pivot and all. It's like sometimes it's just coincidence, right?
Bro, speaking of a tail, there was one of your videos. This has gone from years ago. I think it was like Urban Fight.
Oh yeah, Urban Fight Night. Yeah,
bro, this dude that you were fighting, every time just before he punched, his lips went like that, like you know when you like really want to go in on like, and he looked like a filler dude pointing at shit. He's like, and then when he went into for a punch, I was like, hang on, this guy. If I was to play poker with this dude,
I would know. I just know.
I can take all his money, bro.
I would know.
It's I can tell. It's straight up. It's on his face.
That's the Gustamo face, right? Like
I want it.
It's the subukan mo, ha?
Yeah.
It's about.
He had that face, bro. I was like, fuck.
The Filipino mom face.
It's about.
Tutukin kita, ha?
Holy shit. You gotta sponsorship with Chanelos brand or some shit.
Lip smackers.
Lip smackers.
Some Vicks on your lips.
Vicks on your lips, bro. That's dangerous, bro. Have you ever tried Vicks? Have you tasted it?
What?
Yeah. By mistake.
This is when you know the podcast has been too long. Talk about eating Vicks now.
First, I thought he was psychotic for 50-50. Now you're talking about eating Vicks
like,
too.
Bro, that's a
curious,
low bar.
bro.
It's like,
This is
oh,
curious,
you have
man.
half rice, half oolong. What a psycho.
Do you eat Vicks?
Do you try Vicks too?
And then I eat menthol, so I dip my cigarettes in Vicks. Just kidding.
It helps with the lungs.
Yeah.
It balances
It
out.
clears it out.
So there's more smoke in there.
Oh, man.
It clears it out so much more can come I could get cancer more quicker. Alright, we're falling off the rails. Well, thank you once again to Josh
Thanks, man.
Kulibao for joining the podcast.
Heck
I think you're the
yes.
first fighter that's been on the podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we have a. I left my Red Bull in this one, but I took it out. So this is our gift pack.
This is a gift for you, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So a little bit of a gift bag for you. There's a.
Is that a red horse?
Cheatcoders.
Is that a red horse?
We have like a Filipino
Check out
hot
the sauce,
sauce.
bro.
That's the Filipino hot sauce.
You know.
So that is shouts to Mini Pinoy Grill for providing the hot sauce for us.
Yeah, man.
And then we also have 7,000 Island wine as well for you to check out. And we gave you also the Tito Ray Skywalker.
Is this Philip too?
Yeah. So Filipino owned, Filipino run wine company. 7,000 islands.
Damn.
7,000 islands in the world.
Karaoke.
They really should just use that as the slogan. there.
Tito Ray, the
Tito
force
Ray's-
of Chismis.
Yeah, Tito Ray Skywalker.
Right there.
There you go, brother.
Nice. Appreciate it, boys. Thank
Love
you.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show, man. This has been really
I
good.
know. He's so down to earth, so cool,
Yeah.
calm, collected.
I don't know.
You can talk
do you
shit like
see
the
any
rest of
other-
us.
Do you
Great.
see any other Filipinos that are too big headed? They get dropped back straight back down. You know what I mean?
They get
I
Bunso'd
don't-
out.
Exactly. Bro.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The other
Says
thing
that.
is his bid game is strong as well.
Again,
Yes.
Unbelievable.
I don't
Chill,
know what's
man.
going on, but like, yeah, where are we getting these beads from? I don't know. We're meant to be Asian. We're meant to be bold.
No. It loses here.
That wasn't a dig. I'm not trying to have a dig and dog. I wasn't a dig. That wasn't a dig.
it. My hair's standing out. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Where can they find you, Josh?
Hey?
Where can they find you?
Josh Culibao on Instagram, and then Joshua Culibao MMA Fighter on Facebook.
Hey.
Do you have any more of your shirts left, man? When I looked it up on the website, they're all sold out.
They're all sold
Are you
out.
gonna do another batch?
We're gonna do another batch.
Bro.
Yeah, another
Nice.
batch. I'll let everyone for the next.
Support your Filipino in Australia,
Yeah.
and support the fighters, support the singers, support everyone, all the businesses that are Filipino,
Yeah.
because we got to get ourselves out there, man.
That's it.
100%.
Got
That's
to get
it.
ourselves out there. So that's why we always provide the Filipino hot sauce, the Filipino wine,
And the shirt.
and the
too.
shirt from
Dope.
Cheatcoders. Support, and in saying that, go to the website, buy a shirt from the Cheatcoders. Support your Filipino community.
Hell
That's
yeah.
the one.